plan and to improve. We study, we innovate, we train. So when the thaw comes, we're ready to dig, build, and deliver even better, which means we need people like you. If you're thinking about joining the team at GS Construction, now's the time to do it. To apply and to see how we think, visit gsconstruction.ca.
I'm Colin Livingston, president of Cantork. Cantork has always been a forward-thinking company, but now that we've turned 25, I can't help but take a minute to take a look back. Thank you to everyone that's been with us along the way.
Okay, and that's another goal for Canada.
You know what would be even better than winning gold?
Okay, I'll bite.
Winning a gold medal made of Wilhauk beef jerky.
Athletes do get hungry, and they could use a snack on the podium. I think I'll start a petition.
Really?
No. Now pass the Wilhauk and turn up the games.
For a truly Canadian snack to cheer on our truly Canadian athletes, you need Wilhauk beef jerky, made with Alberta pride right here in Leduc.
Japa Machinery Group knows that XCMG may not roll off the tongue, but Japa's team will help keep your construction jobs rolling on time and on budget with heavy equipment sales and rentals. Visit japamachinery.com to find out more.
Make your game day feast better with Papa John's. Create a mouth-watering pizza lineup with buffalo chicken, all the meats, the works, ultimate pepperoni, or create your own pizza possibilities. Now through Sunday, February 8th, get 25% off pizzas at regular menu price with the promo code BIGGAME at any location in Alberta. Order at papajohns.ca or on the Papa John's app with promo code BIGGAME. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's.
The future of female hockey is here. It's season 2 of the Female Super League, the first ever female-only independent hockey division in Western Canada, with teams from British Columbia, Alberta, Saskatchewan, and Manitoba. Featuring 16U, 14U, and 12U divisions, the FSL brings showcase weekends packed with thrilling games, and our 14U and 16U have been pioneering the advanced body checking rule, empowering young players. The Female Super League, where the best in female hockey takes center ice. Details at femalesuperleague.com.
Hey, Edmonton, did you know a local Play Alberta winner scored over $500,000 on Mega Jackpots Ocean Bells? Think about the season tickets you could lock down with that kind of cash. From major casino winners every hour to jackpots worth millions and hundreds of popular games to money that stays in the province, there's never been a better time to sign up for Play Alberta. Download the app today to get started with casino, sports, and lottery all in one app. Must be 18 plus to play. When you gamble, use your game sense.
This is Andrew Walker, host of the postgame show on Sports 1440. After every hockey game this season, tune in and chime in as we talk about the game. It's all sponsored by Legacy Heating and Cooling. Don't get left in the cold. Visit legacyheating.ca.
Considering an EV, Subaru is the right choice. Discover their latest electric vehicle innovations, starting with the brand new Solterra, in stock and ready to test drive. Or the Trail Seeker, an EV at its core, a Subaru at heart and built for adventure. Or the Uncharted This 40, all-new small compact SUV brings new levels of driving enjoyment to the all-electric space. Right now, Subaru is offering interest rates as low as 0.49%. Welcome to electric. Welcome to Subaru.
Get the inside scoop for your team on Fantasy Frenzy with Halley and Douglas on Sports 1440.
Presented by Wilhauk Beef Jerky, home of Alberta's best beef jerky.
Good morning. Thank you for tuning in to Sports 1440 and Fantasy Frenzy, brought to you by Wilhauk Beef Jerky, home of Alberta's best beef jerky online, wilhaukbeefjerky.com. I will say, Duke, for those who don't know, we're 10 days away from Valentine's Day. Flowers are cool, no doubt. They're beautiful. They smell nice.
No doubt.
But you can't eat them unless you want to get sick. You could buy your loved one or just friends,
your sweetheart,
a nice bag of beef jerky.
If I'm out maybe perhaps trying to court a young lady or just a lady, I think a bag of beef jerky would serve me very well in that endeavor.
I don't
Knocking on the front door, perhaps asking her father for permission, and then ask the lady out on a date or something. Present both the father and lady with some beef jerky.
Oh, respectful.
Listen, I grew up in the sticks. Where I come from, we do things right.
It's a good idea. And here's the
In
thing.
theory.
9 out of 10 people might be like confused about that proposition. But the one who accepts, that's the one. So go get a couple bags of beef jerky for yourself and maybe your future husband, wife, whatever it might be. Text line 1-833-401-1440. EG says, guys, open the show with a banger. Well, that was our intern. Well, intern Mac, Country Mac, Big Mike. Goes by many names, but yeah. Good start to the show. We've also got Josh Fenwick, Brandon Douglas, and I'm Connor Halley. Should mention that as well. Today on the show, we'll talk about the Edmonton Oilers' latest loss last night to the Toronto Maple Leafs. Of course, not too much time to worry about it because they had to head to Calgary, taking on the Flames. Puck drop just after 8. We will have a 2-hour pregame show with Andrew Walker, Donovan Paulson, Landon Ferraro. I think Eric Francis is going to join the guys as well. So it'll be a very busy show getting going at 6 o'clock. But until then, lots going on, lots to discuss. We got Gregor, we got Low Tide, and of course, before that, you got us for the next 54 odd minutes. Duke, let's go back to last night. You probably just spent the last 4 hours talking about it.
Oh, did I ever, Connor?
Hey, 2-2, you get into penalty trouble. I didn't love the Savoy call, but, if that goes the other way, I think Oilers fans probably, that interference.
Mm-hmm.
The play, Matthias Janmark, I think situational awareness is probably key there. Like, okay, we're already down a man. It's so early in the penalty. Keep the stick down. Even if Matthews initiates contact, you have to be responsible, cognizant, conscious. You have to be in control of your stick. Hits him in the face. I'll listen to people that say maybe 2 calls should have been made. I know that was the discussion on the broadcast on Sportsnet, but it wasn't. So you put yourself in a tough spot there. The Maple Leafs power play, who I don't think it got a power play in 16 years, they capitalized 2 straight goals. And at that point, Duke, I'm sorry. It was over.
How about the stat that's only like the Maple Leafs? I say stat and then I can't even remember the exact number. Like 4th 5-on-3 the entire season.
How much would that compare to other teams? Do you know?
It seems low.
Yeah. I mean, I really don't know. I don't have a good reference point here.
This is something that it could definitely be worth looking at. But you're right. Like the Leafs do not draw very many penalties, but they presented that opportunity. And the power plays, it's kind of funny. We rewind to mid-December when they fired Mark Savard as assistant coach, right? And he was the guy in part charge of the power play. And we kind of looked at it and said, is this just a bit of a sacrificial lamb? Something needs to be changed. It's not an indictment on Mark Savard necessarily, but this team is struggling. Since then, the power play has been clicking along at it's still 25th in the league, but it's been, I looked it up last night, it's still well over 24-ish% since Savard was fired. So even if they don't get a ton of opportunities, they do seem to make them count when they're given them. They did last night. I'm right there with you, Cons. The Savoy penalty, don't love it, but I also understand it being called. It gets called all the time. And then more importantly, the Janmark one, I absolutely think that there should have been one. It's high sticking. You hit him in the visor with your stick. That's a penalty.
Yep.
But I think a hold, an interference, something to go in tandem with it certainly was deserved.
For sure. Yeah. I mean, in best case scenario, there are 2 calls taken. Austin Matthews gets brought off the ice. But that just wasn't the deal for the Oilers. And like I said, I mean, hey, you're still right in the thick of things. Obviously, you got a chance to pick up 2 points against the Flames tonight. Got to have a good start, though. Can't be slow at the gates and can't be looking ahead to the Olympic Games, which get going today. We are trying to get the game on here.
I'm watching it on my phone right now.
Well, yeah, so am I. But we're trying to get it on the TV studios.
Because we're trying to cast, which my phone tells me I can do, but it's not giving me any devices.
I'm with you right there. Too bad. But we have it on here, so that's cool for you and I. Legally, we can't just start giving you guys like live updates, but we'll keep you posted on what's going on here at the games. Leon Draisaitl, flag bearer for Germany. That's really cool. So do you think tonight, PJ right to Italy? Hop on the red eye? Maybe you don't want to take a PJ. Maybe you want to get on a bigger jet.
Commercial flight.
Maybe Cates can get him a 657 or 757.
What about a G6? Is that a small plane?
I think so, but I don't actually know.
I just know feelings will fly like a G6.
Yeah.
But so it's an interesting question, Connor. Are they waiting and all of Team Canada is going on one very large plane, or is it up to the individuals to get there of their own accord and it's like a set meeting time this day at the hotel or at the village or whatever? And like you said, Daryl Cates Connor and Leon aren't exactly short when it comes to available dollars to them. Maybe they just take one over themselves and they let young Josh Szymanski tag along, leaving from Calgary tonight or tomorrow or whatever.
Maybe you take like a PJ to Toronto or New York
with some of the other guys
and then head over. Yeah, I would think so. But okay, if it's me, Duke, I want to get there. I want to soak it all in as much as possible. There's a lot of teams that do play tomorrow night.
Yeah, I
did play tomorrow night.
Full ignorance. I thought the schedule was done.
So, you'd be without Sid. I'm just kind of scanning through here. Bo Horvat needs to make his way over. He's got a game. Hurricanes, Rangers, Sens, Flyers, Caps, Preds, Panthers. So obviously a couple guys there in that game. I mean, they hate each other, but they could probably take their own little jet across the pond. And then you got Vegas and LA. That's a long flight for Mr. Mark Stone coming from it's a
and
little
Shea
bit
Theodore.
Shea Theodore, yeah.
And Jack Eichel if they decide to
Doughty
team up. Noah Hannafin.
Drew Doughty's like, I come.
That's what I mean. Like your opponents right up until the end of the game, and then you're all of a sudden your teammates for the next couple weeks. So do you let bygones be bygones? And Mark Stone, Shea Theodore, and Drew Doughty, at least as Canadians, they rally together and figure something out and then leave Jack Eichel, Noah Hannafin to figure it out for themselves. Darcy Kemper as well, right?
I would love to get a discussion of like the elite of the elite, like back in the day. Like we know their athletes hated each other more back then. They weren't off-season training partners. Now, obviously, it's like, okay, we're meeting up at a event like the Olympics. We're, for the most part, pretty cool. Maybe some Panthers and Lightning have a little bit of beef, but they squash it for the greater good. But like back in the day, what was it like? Like when Jordan had to, who did Jordan hate?
Isaiah Thomas,
but he didn't get on the team.
And he, despite having the meeting the qualifications, he was not included.
Like, so Magic and Larry Bird, like,
right?
Dude, they just like, I hate you, but you're a damn good player. So let's make it work. To ball. Like they connect on one alley oop and then they just like smile at each other.
Yeah, that's an interesting question.
Cue the montage. Be interesting. What events are you guys watching right now? CBC Gem has mixed curling on right now.
And if you have Sportsnet Plus, the premium version of the subscription, I think, because I'm watching it on Sportsnet Plus on my phone. Connor's watching it via CBC Gem.
Yeah. Just going back to our conversation earlier, Pillman had said, I wouldn't be dating one that still lives at home.
Well, maybe she's an old-fashioned gal and lives at home until the right suitor comes along. I don't think that's very common anymore, but we're talking about old-fashioned values that would fall into that category.
You're a super old school guy and you take her by her dad's house to introduce yourself on the first date. Brought you this.
Yeah.
Where
are we going? Oh, we're just going to pop by your dad's place. How do you know where he lives?
Stillburn. I know everyone.
Don't worry about it.
Guy. I'm sorry.
It's
Guy. Out of my 6 years of watching hockey, I never heard worse answers from a head coach when asked real questions. Pathetic. Talking Chris Knobloch here, I suppose.
Yeah, a lot. And they talk about how I've talked about last night's Oilers game for the past 4 hours with a few breaks from it. Lot of disdain for the coaching staff today. It's kind of it's the coaches and Chris Knobloch in particular's turn on this rotation of scapegoats for the Oilers' struggles. The coaching staff are at the forefront today.
I would say, it's pretty obvious that Mangiapane is not his favorite player, and there's plenty of reasoning to go back and look at it, the healthy scratches. And I think a lot of fans would say, yeah, it kind of does feel like he has underachieved here. But last night, after taking the penalty, he was riding the pine, and I thought like he was actually. I noticed him. Which
in the first period he was noticeable. He was engaged, trying to provide elements that are expected of him. That comes in like trying to generate a little offense, mixing it up with the opponent, right? Getting in their face a little bit. Gets a coincidental penalty for eating a few punches from Oliver Ekman-Larsson. He snowed the goalie, whatever, but
stood in his face a little bit. Come on.
Yeah. So I really liked Mangiapane's game through the first 20 minutes. And then, listen, Andrew Walker, pre and post game host, he was on with me at 7:20 to kind of break this game down. And he essentially phrased it very accurately, saying, like, you're brought in to play on the fourth line. You need to do what fourth line players do, which he had been up to that point. But then that also means not making mistakes.
Yeah.
And that type of mistake in particular, which is so avoidable. You pull up, you don't have any support. You're essentially alone on it. Just roll the puck into the corner, live to fight another day, whether that be going for a change or rolling it in, waiting for some support, and then getting it on the forecheck. Instead, you turn it over, puck goes back the other way, and in very short order ends up in your net. You trail 1-0.
Yeah.
It's the type of mistake that clearly Chris Knobloch looks at and says, that's not what I want my fourth line players doing. As a result, you will not see the ice the rest of the period.
Yeah. I mean, and that's fair. You don't want your fourth line causing goals, ideally trying to prevent them from going in, especially in an avoidable manner such as that. But when Ekman-Larsson was just destroying his face and he's just taking it, I'm like, come on, refs, like,
help a guy out.
You can pull one out of the pile here, because that was one was a little bit worse than the other, but it didn't matter. Oilers fall 5-2 and now turn their attention. You know what? I did predict a 5-2 game last night with an empty netter.
You just thought it'd be the other way?
I went the other way, though.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So if somebody bet the score, if you could do that without the winner.
Right. Just exact final score instead.
Nailed it. No big deal. I also said Troy Stetcher would score a goal. That was my bold prediction.
Yeah, it's funny of the Leafs group last night. I mean, a lot of talk about Stetcher because of his ties to the Oilers and whatnot, but he actually was maybe one of the least noticeable defensemen for the Leafs. I thought Jake McCabe was excellent in the hockey game. I liked Brandon Carlo's game, and even the third pairing of Myers and Benoit I thought were pretty solid for a third pairing.
Mm-hmm.
With that being the Leafs, and I've said it already a couple times this morning, so I apologize for the redundancy. But the Oilers had 36 shots on net. Stolarz was excellent, right? He was maybe the difference in the hockey game. But even though the Oilers had 36 shots, I thought the Leafs were actually pretty decent defensively over the course of the game. They gave up a couple prime chances. Stolarz had the answer with a couple exceptions. So credit to the Leafs. They're fighting for their lives here, right? They don't think that they're about to sell off. The players, anyway, don't look at it and say, oh, yeah, we're about to sell off here at the deadline. They want to make the playoffs. And organizationally, they will have support for that, because this is not a team ready to go into a rebuild or a retool. This is much like the Oilers, a team that's built to win in the here and now.
I'm with you. I was on with Scott Mitchell down in
Scotty
talking a little sports, Camrose Radio,
and he's a Leafs guy.
He's a Leafs guy, and I was like, I'm not ruling them out. Like, they picked up 4 points. Like,
well, they did 4 points. Try 6. They've won 3 in a row on this Western Canadian swing.
Well, in the last 2 days, 4 points.
Alberta.
I'm very
a 4-point Alberta sweep.
But they're not. So many things can happen. Crazy things happen in sports. I mean, 2 years ago, we saw the Oilers go on that ridiculous swing. Last year, they had to do it again, and there was the Blues before that. I wasn't ready to rule them out totally. It's a tough climb. They put themselves in a bad spot, but there's still a runway. There's still a chance for them to close the gap here, and that's the expectation, because I think so far people have them as one of the bigger underachievers of the season. Justin texting in, it was the Leafs' first 5-on-3 goal of the year. Yeah, and it did not take long. They were efficient on that power play. We'll take a break here. When we come back, more of your text so we can keep you up what's going on across the pond at the games and more. Text lines 1-833-401-1440 if you'd like to get on the chat. It is Fantasy Frenzy here on Sports 1440, brought to you by Will Hawk Beef Jerky.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. Happy New Year. I just wanted to take a moment to say thank you. Thank you for everything in 2025. With your help and your support, we fed almost 500 families. We donated to various charities in the Edmonton area, and we're going to do it again in 2026. Please stop in and see us today, 13215 97th Street, or visit us online at northgategm.com.
you're in Northgate country.
Friday night calls for family fun that's second to none, starting with a big party.
It's the Oil Kings mascot Louie's birthday bash, presented by Bloom Benefits.
Edmonton faces the Moose Jaw Warriors. Local mascots will be in the house for Louie's big day, and every fan in attendance gets a card for their chance to win a fun Louie prize.
Plus, 4 Calmont Kids food combos for $10 or less. The value is lion-sized.
Oil Kings Warriors, Louie's birthday bash, Friday at 7.
Great seats at Rogers Place start at only $20 at oilkings.ca.
They're not just a grocery store. They're a butcher, a baker, a cafe, deli, rotisserie pizza, and restaurant, all under one roof. Loca Quality Market does food differently with 2 locations to serve you, Edmonton and Sherwood Park. Visit loca.ca.
This is Andrew Walker, host of the postgame show on Sports 1440. After every hockey game this season, tune in and chime in as we talk about the game. It's all sponsored by Legacy Heating and Cooling. Don't get left in the cold. Visit legacyheating.ca.
Diablo Boots sells only Canadian-made work and biker boots made by Canada West. No American or boots made in China, so no tariffs. All of Diablo's boots have replaceable soles and heels for longer life. Sizes 6 to 14 Triple E. Buy quality, buy Canadian. And support Canada West and Diablo, the 2 best names in the boot business. So save on boots by Save On Foods. That's Diablo Boots, 3340 Gateway Boulevard on the east side of Save On Foods. Buy Canadian. They're terrific.
Legacy Heating and Cooling is the #1 furnace replacement company for lovers. Because the best aphrodisiac is no payments and no interest for 1 year on your new furnace from Legacy. So forget about the oysters, baby. If you really want to check the heat, we can be a thermal couple, baby. Give me your sweet loving legacy. Heat things up with no payments and no interest for 1 year on your new furnace from Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Who should start? Who needs to hit the bench? Find out with Fantasy Frenzy with Halley and Douglas. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by Will Hawk Beef Jerky, home of Alberta's best beef jerky.
Welcome back. It's Fantasy Frenzy here on Sports 1440. Connor Halley, Brandon Douglas, Josh Fenwick, the Donut King. We got intern Mac here as well. Can we throw Josh's mic on for a couple seconds here? Fantasy Frenzy brought to you by Will Hawk Beef Jerky, home of Alberta's best beef jerky. Now, Josh, I will say I brought in donuts for people. On the way in, I had one. There was another drop-off by like an upscale donut place. So, yeah, I'm going to have another one, of course.
Naturally.
But how many have you had today?
3 donuts from 3 different boxes.
And how many Timbits?
I would say like probably 4 Timbits.
Do you eat breakfast? Like just
No,
like
I don't.
okay, I get it. In the morning, I don't. So that's why I bring
That's
in
why I'm
donuts.
always like pining for free food. Is because I'm like, man, I am hungry.
I have to bring it up because it's relevant. Last Critters game,
yeah,
when we had this box of donuts left over, and I brought them in the next morning, and there were quite a few in there, and they were smaller donuts, not mini donuts, but not full size.
And a day old.
I suppose that's true. I watched Josh house like at least a half dozen of these things over the course of the morning show.
I would do it again.
It was staggering.
I don't think he was not here for my comment, but I say he's a dying breed in radio. Like there used to be a time where drop-offs came and you would just take it and eat it. And like, that was it, right? We're radio people. We don't make that much money. You got to eat somehow. But now there's a growing group that are more health conscious and like, no, I'm okay.
Like Declan.
Nerd. Intern Mac.
No donuts for intern Mac?
What do you mean, big one?
Well, remember we had the pretzel bites yesterday? Polite decline, along with Declan.
Big mistake.
You know?
Those things are untouched.
You can turn your mic on. You can get in on the
you
chat.
have permission.
Okay, I just want to say the one time I did have a donut, Kevin was like, "Oh, she's good. She's going for the first one. And then I cut it in half too. And I kind of got roasted for that. So,
gotta take the whole thing.
Ooh. I think that was the same day I got roasted for saying that I would eat a donut with a fork and knife.
Yeah, that was the same day. Those were good donuts.
Those were like fancy donuts that got dropped off.
Those were the
I think from Fusion.
Correct.
And they like got a lot of stuff on top. They're well dressed. It's a little messy. So I think it's appropriate. Certain things like that you can eat with a fork and knife.
I think that's fine.
I'm not saying I've ever actually done it, but I'm open to the idea.
Or you eat it over a plate, and then when it all falls off, you like second donut.
Yeah, all over your face.
Well, hey, we're going crazy here. There's like 4 boxes of donuts out there.
Yeah, all celebrating Terry Evans over at K97. 40 years.
Congratulations.
In the
Terry.
biz to T-Bone.
It's a long time.
It's tough to comprehend, honestly.
I'm the senior person here at 1440 right now, being the oldest, and that's before I was born. Like, he got in his biz a long time ago.
He's a lifer.
It's crazy. But yeah, shout out to, what'd you call him, T-Bone?
That's what Kevin calls him.
Kevin actually called him that?
That's Kevin's nickname. T-Bone and Pete Panoski. His real last name is Petitko.
It's just something.
Yeah.
That's like Stretty calling UPL Uka Puka.
Uka Puka Luka Paluka Luka.
Just say words and hope it works out. Taikila says, boys, is it just me or did you find it kind of cringe when you hear Knobloch say Eki, Boosh, or Nuggy in the same sentence while being interviewed? Sounds like he's listing off his U10 team.
I'll be honest, when we ran that audio this morning on the Kerry show and I heard it, and I heard him, the Eki thing's not as much Boosh, whatever, but then the Nuggy part, I could not help but laugh to myself. I do think it's funny.
It's not the first, though, that he's referred to them as those names, right?
He's in the locker room, right? Like, he calls them by their nicknames just like their teammates do.
Yeah.
It's a little bit different, I think, when, let's just say in a media scrum, Gregor were to get up there and be like, so Nuggy. What do you think of the game?
He's not on the team. He can't do
That's
it.
what I mean, right? It's that would be
unacceptable
if you want to put a qualifier on it, as opposed to he's the head coach. He's in the room. He's part of the team. It's one of the boys.
Yeah, absolutely. He's the man with the boys. This segment is brought to you by elksnation.ca, of course, 2-weekly podcast with Eddie Steele and Declan Kruger, breaking down the green and gold, the most in-depth W football coverage you'll find out there. Trust me. And especially the free agency coming up, Declan's breakdowns have been fantastic. Read all the articles, elksnation.ca. Ben Dangle says, short flight on a PJ, Calgary to Edmonton, may cost $2,000 to $5,000 per hour. Well, it better not take an hour. Large private jet overseas costs $10,000 to $20,000 an hour. Edmonton to UK takes about 8 hours. Large jet would cost, a comma would have been nice, $160,000, I believe that is.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they could afford it. I guess, it's also who you know.
Yeah, true. If you got a hookup, it's a quick little Instagram post, get sponsored.
Right? Hey, hopping on the PJ. Thanks a lot to
Jet
Guy.
Buddy guy with the Jets.
Yeah, like knock a little price off there. Gilly says, when Team USA lost in Vancouver, Kessler flew back with the U.S. team, even though he played on the Canucks.
Flew back to where?
Flew back to Boston and then flew back to Vancouver? Why wouldn't he just stick around?
I know after the World Juniors here in Edmonton, there was the Bubble World Juniors. Trevor Zegras had just beat, and I want to say maybe Alex Turcotte as well, who was obviously with the drafted by the Kings. They just beat Team Canada in dramatic fashion. Zegras was the tournament MVP.
Yeah.
They flew on the same plane as Zegras' teammate / opponent, Jamie Drysdale, back to SoCal. And I want to say there might have been another King, Brant Clark, maybe, I think, as well. They were all going to their respective NHL clubs, and they all flew on the plane together, like right after the game.
I mean, what do you do, right? You can be an animal on the ice, but you got to be a civilian and a good one off the ice.
Agreed.
It's like and I'm sure it's the same now, but like Oil Kings and Winterhawks when they were playing in the WHL final. Same charter jet. Just a curtain in between the two teams.
Really?
Yeah.
Could you imagine the brawl?
A
different definition to Mile High clubs. Like, yeah, I got in a full-on hockey brawl, but on a plane.
On a plane. Yeah. I assume it'd be players in the front and then like staff and then staff, and then players in the back,
right.
you know, keep it separated. Jane Victoria says, hey guys, on the large scale, does this game tonight mean a lot? 2 weeks off with a win or a loss, does it change the feeling like it did with the Leafs, the team thinking they're in it now? I think you want to go out on a good note. To me, though, like, these are professional athletes. I think win or lose probably after a sleep, you know, especially in the regular season,
you gotta
they've
bury
moved
it.
on.
You gotta like put it in your back pocket and move on to the next game.
And they're going to be fired up for vacation. Like,
Well,
let's be real. We all would be fired up for a little vacation.
I asked Schlemmer about that because he was in the NHL during the last time there was an Olympic break in a schedule, and he basically said, like, yeah, it's human nature, right? When you have this, your plane probably leaves like the next morning, if not that night, to go somewhere with the family or wherever. You're obviously thinking about it. I do think, and Schlemmer brought this up, it's a very good point. The fact that this is a Battle of Alberta game, I do think maybe helps keep the Oilers players and the Flames players, to an extent, obviously, too, a little more engaged in it and not daydreaming a little bit of what's the first drink they're going to have when they get to Cancun or Bermuda or wherever. Now, with that being said, I think it's an even extra thing for the Oilers that they have lost a couple in a row. 100% you got to check it at the door when you lose games. You can't carry that with you. But this is a team that is kind of middling along and struggling to get string together wins. They've won 3 games once.
Yeah.
And it happened last week, for goodness sake. So going out on a winning note would certainly be a boost to spirits, I think, if nothing else.
I wonder how many guys participating in the games are like, I might not be ripping into the corner quite as fast, you know?
Well, someone had texted in earlier saying, is Leon not going to play tonight? Like, not that I'm aware of.
Yeah, he'll play.
He'll be out there.
You cannot play afraid. They don't. But I'm just wondering, like,
yeah, playing afraid is actually usually how you end up getting hurt.
I'm not gonna go take a punch tonight in this one.
Yeah, that's fair.
And I'm curious how many PJs are set to go after the game into Vegas. Like, for the younger guys that maybe don't need to do a trip with the family, it's like, let's just do Vegas for a few nights. I think Stretty had a story about that. Like, the PJ was set and it like went to shootout or something. They're like, we got to get through this quick.
Well, it's a well told story from in Phoenix, I believe it was, and Brett Hull and Walt Kachuk, I think, were the two guys. And same thing, it was like a day off or something. They had a plane booked to head to Vegas right after the game, and they gave up a lead late or something, ended up going to overtime. And I believe it was Kachuk that essentially said, F this, went out there in overtime and kind of like went hero mode, scored the goal, straight to the locker room saying, we got a plane to catch.
Yeah. Not doing media.
Yeah.
No shower, just go. Yeah. It'll be a fun one. Big game though. Jane and Victoria. I don't think it changes how we look at the season or anything. But I do think, it's nice to go out on a winning note. Manny says, intern Mac is a fine radio voice. Open her mic up more often. Well, we'll get there. It's still early. Hasn't even been a month yet. Coming up on it, but yeah, you'll hear a lot from her.
Lots of time
for it to happen. iMac says, I coach a U11 team, but as the head coach, I never use their nicknames. I'm old school, and coaches shouldn't, in my opinion, let the kids have that own and feel they're on their own level. To me, like, if you're comfortable calling them that, then call them that. Be yourself. Like Ryan did this, Connor did that, Evan did that. I don't know. Like, what does it matter? It's what we refer to them as. Do what you're comfortable
when
doing.
I was in minor hockey, and granted this was more so in my last couple of years, what's now U18 hockey, my coach would use nicknames, but they weren't the nicknames we would call each other. They were usually a bit more along the lines of idiot, dumbass, stuff like that, terms of affection. And then when I coached a U18 team a couple of years ago, just for a season back in Delburn, yeah, like certain guys, if like you call them by their name, like there's Declan, there's Cole, there's whoever, but then the one guy is like, his last name was Steen, we call him Steener. So I would say, that's what I'd call him, say Steener. It's like a little bit different if it's like just something simple like that, as opposed to, Wayne Gretzky, hey, the great one, get at the door, you're next out.
Finish Flash, go. Yeah, those things probably not happening. But yeah, Noel says nicknames are an integral part of relationship building. I think that's what Carius believes in. Because everyone gets a nickname.
T-Bone.
It's a good one. Didi from Border City. Do you guys think there's ever a chance that the Oilers and Leafs make a trade Mangiapane for Domi? What's public perception of Domi in Toronto right now? I like Domi. I think he kind of...
He does a lot of different things. If you were to ask the general wider ranging opinion on it, I would think if there was a trade for the Leafs and the Oilers to make, it would involve Bobby McMahon. That seems to be the guy. Cheap contract, expiring UFA. So whether it's a rental, you extend him. Local guy from Wainwright. Played junior hockey here. Has scoring upside. Is he a true top line forward, like winger to play, say, with Connor McDavid? I'm not so sure. I think if the Oilers are going to swing for something like that, either swing bigger, go for like a true top line player, which are hard to come by and cost a lot more, or pivot and get a guy that gives you a little more versatility, can play center, whether it be on the third line, have the chance to bump up and play top line wing if needed, if you're shuffling the lines or something. So I don't know if I'm necessarily quite as high on the McMahon idea as it seems a lot of others are.
Here's what's going to happen. They're going to trade for him.
Okay.
8-year contract extension.
No move clause.
No move clause. Lock it in.
All right.
That's how you keep them. That's how you win.
I'd like to disagree with you, but the track record shows that is the likely course of action.
Yeah. Could you add Frederick in trades? Pillman asks. I just don't think anyone's taking that on right now.
It's the commitment is tough.
You know, though, down 3 with a minute left, he did get out there and shake it up a little.
True.
So
yeah, I didn't hate Trent Frederick's game last night overall. I mean, it's what I've noticed lately about Frederick is that you're not noticing him in negative ways.
I would agree.
But he's still not doing a ton to move the needle in a positive. He's kind of just out there, just eating some minutes. Which he's playing fourth line right now. It's not necessarily, yes, of course you want more from him because of expectation and contract and commitment, but realistically, it's kind of might just be what he is for the time being, a fourth line player.
And tonight, got the BOA. This is an opportunity. Just go run around a little bit there. Get the emotion flowing for your team, because there might be that, hey, last game before the break.
Yeah. And this text that JP kind of took the words right out of my mouth, because we had several other messages about it over the course of the morning. The fact that McDavid takes the hit from Carlo is, it ended up fine, but on the ice for a moment, looks a little in discomfort. Frederick essentially skates right past his downed captain.
Kind of looks too, right?
And then just goes out. And then Darnell Nurse is fresh on the ice, goes after Carlo.
Yeah.
What do you see? What do you think when you see that?
It's not a good look. It's Darnell Nurse. For all the things people get mad about him, he will always step up for his teammates.
Mm-hmm.
He's always going to get in there and do that sort of thing. So you have to give him credit for that. But yeah, I saw that replay and it was like, did he just? I trying to think why he wouldn't do something, and only thing I could think of is it would be like, well, that's not really my game. That's not my job. And skates away. Just quickly, DS says that I'd be more afraid of tonight's game if the Oilers had won last night. No one rests on their laurels like the Oilers. Play great, take a night off, score a big goal, coast on the next shift. This team is so frustrating. Yeah, and I'm still trying to figure out what happened on that quick goal after when Ingram plays the puck. Was it a grenade? Did Nurse? It was in his skates, it looked like, but the ref was there and jumped. Did the ref screen the pass? Bang, bang, play, back of the net. And that's that is something we've seen quite a bit from this team. Why don't we take a quick break here?
Okay.
But first, Bryce said, KK once did an interview with Devin Dubnyk and called him Doobie 42 times in 5 minutes. I agree if you're on the team, but if you're not, it's weird as hell.
When they're not playing anymore, because we had Dubnyk on this year.
Right? I bet Kevin and Doobie are friends.
Friends maybe not, but they familiar with each other. They interacted when he was on the team and have some sort of familiarity now post-career for Dubnyk. And keep in mind, he was also on with a former teammate, Laddie, who calls him Doobie. And same goes for other guys that we've had on the show that are former Oilers in particular. Scotty Upshaw.
Uppy?
People call him Uppy. Not an Oiler, but Shane O'Brien. Obi.
Updog and Obi?
The O-Dog is O'Neill.
But I think Upshaw was Updog.
Is that how it started? And then just got shortened to Uppy? That's too long.
What's up, Tom? Come on.
Tom Gilbert was in studio. So I think it's up to your own preference. If you want to use it, cool. Now, active players, member of the media in a scrum or something, obviously a little out of line, I think.
It's like if I'm filling in for Gregor and Mike Rupp comes on the show,
You're not calling him Rupper?
Rupper. Like, no, we're not in that relationship. To me, he's still former NHLer Mike Rupp. Mr. Rupp.
I call Schlem Coach Schlemmer. Is that loud?
You guys have a friendship, I'd say.
Me and Schlemmer are friends.
One side.
I think we're Facebook friends, actually, which is funny because we were talking Facebook during In or Out today.
Nice. I don't think
it's
Facebook friends.
Facebook's anniversary or founding day.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Back on the Harvard campus?
That's how it started, yeah. Harvard only, and then you had to have a college email to sign up for it after it expanded beyond Harvard, and then, of course, it blew up to be everything.
People were pretentious. Those U of A students.
They because you were old enough to see the birth and expansion of it.
Absolutely.
I was around, but not. We still had dial-up internet at the farm, so it wasn't quite on my radar.
You can knock Facebook like it's for old people, and granted,
dude, at the time it was everything.
But right now it is, man. That's our biggest following on all our social media platforms is Facebook.
Shout out Facebook.
So
go follow us on Facebook.
Go follow us everywhere so we can catch up. But Facebook is by far our biggest platform. We'll take another break here. When we come back, we'll get to more of your text. It is Fantasy Frenzy, brought to you by Will Hawk Beef Jerky here on Sports 1440, streaming on YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram, Twitch. Brought to you by, again, Will Hawk Beef Jerky.
This is Sports 1440, a Stingray radio station broadcasting on Treaty 6 territory.
Download the free iHeartRadio app and listen to CKJR wherever you go.
Welcome, gentlemen, to the nerve center of game-watching greatness, my sanctuary, my Bro Zone.
Whoa, giant screen, comfy chairs. You've thought of everything.
Almost everything. Where are the snacks? We can't cheer on Canada without the proper fuel.
Way ahead of you. Will Hawk Beef Jerky, the official snack of the Bro Zone.
For a truly Canadian snack to cheer on our truly Canadian athletes, you need Will Hawk Beef Jerky, made with Alberta pride, right here in Leduc.
Action Electrical Solar Team is now making a play for sustainability and savings. They're specialists in powering up for a greener future.
That's the strategy, designing and installing high-efficiency solar panels. They're helping homes and businesses combat rising utility costs by harnessing the power of the sun.
A smart move for efficiency and the environment. Hire the Action Electrical team to bring home a win for your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
Do you work for a company that wants to reach people who love sports? Or maybe you're looking to hire people who love sports. Sports 1440 partners with dozens of local businesses, connecting with tens of thousands of Edmonton sports fans every day. On the radio, on the listening apps, on YouTube, and on social media. Contact our sales team today to see what Sports 1440 can do for you. Email Gregor at sports1440.ca to get started.
Sleep is for the off-season. What off-season? Sports 1440 is live, loud, and locked 24/7. Oilers, Elks, Riverhawks, Stingers, Oil Kings. We've got your picks. Edmonton's home of sports is Sports 1440.
Invest for today and tomorrow. Vision Credit Union makes it simple with 2 RRSP options to fit your goals. Choose a secure term deposit RRSP with guaranteed returns or a mutual fund RRSP offering higher growth potential with exciting opportunities. With an RRSP, you'll save on your income tax, grow your investments tax-free, and get closer to your dreams, whether it's retirement or your first home. The deadline to qualify for 2025 tax deductions is March 2nd. Learn more at visioncu.ca.
This year, instead of a short winter getaway from the cold, what if you took a permanent winter getaway from your hair loss? Hi, I'm Dr. Vance Elliott, inviting you to come plan your winter transformation. I've helped thousands of Edmonton men and women get their hair and their confidence back. Many of them preferred the winter. Cooler temperatures are great for recovery, and winter hats can keep everything discreet. Trips are nice, but this winter, choose to invest in your vessel. Book a free consultation today at drvanceelliott.com.
Who should start? Who needs to hit the bench? Find out with Fantasy Frenzy with Halley and Douglas. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by Will Hawk Beef Jerky, home of Alberta's best beef jerky.
$11:45. Welcome back. It's Fantasy Frenzy here on Sports 1440, brought to you by Will Hawk Beef Jerky. Connor Halley, Brandon Douglas, Country Mac, Josh Fenwick with you here. Now, Josh just said something we can't repeat on air and then told us about a trade that just happened in the NBA. The Dallas Mavericks are trading 10-time NBA All-Star Anthony Davis, Jaden Hardy, D'Angelo Russell, Dante Exum to the Washington Wizards for Chris Middleton, AJ Johnson, Malachi Branham, Marvin Bagley III, two first-round picks, 3 second-rounders. Dallas is receiving a 2026 Thunder first-round pick and a 2030 protected Warriors first-round pick in the deal from the Wizards, along with a second-rounder in 2026, 2027, and 2029. What does this all mean? Is Washington...
I mean, the Wizards are going for it.
Did Washington get a time machine and they're going to use that to take Anthony Davis back to his prime and Trae Young? Is that the new duo? Josh, can we turn Josh's mic on? Josh,
it's the NBA's newest super team.
You know more hoops than us. So what do you make of this deal?
I see what the Mavericks are doing. They're getting some veteran presence in for Cooper Flag as their young team sort of starts to develop. What the hell are the Wizards building in Washington? I have no clue, no sniff. They have a bunch of money that will be going out at the end of this year, though. I think they have $60 million coming off the books or something like that.
Okay.
Just in trade exceptions and contract buyouts, last year's of those and things of the such. But trading for the always hurt Anthony Davis and Trae Young, who does not affect winning basketball in the slightest. I think they're just taking on bad contracts and getting picks for a rebuild.
Another rebuild.
Right. Continuing the rebuild.
The perpetual rebuild.
The perpetual rebuild since 1979.
The John Wall, Bradley Beal failed experiment.
You're right. So 2016. And then before that, 1979. So yeah, crazy. We'll see how things go.
Bring back the Wizards. The real Wizards.
The Washington Bullets.
I want the Michael Jordan.
The Jordan Wizards.
Jersey back.
Those jerseys.
The no-chill Gill.
Is that what they called it?
No, the no-chill Gill.
Agent
Zero.
Yeah, he was great. Dangerous man.
On and off the court.
Yeah. I will say, though, good jerseys. That's probably depending on your age when you saw those. Okay, Deity from the Border City says, Duke, watch the Connor hit again. Trent goes up to the wrong guy. And Noel said, I really think it needs to be brought up that Frederick went after McCann, shook the gloves. I had saw that as well last night. And that, yeah, it's fine. The one angle that I think was being shared the most on social media made it look the worst because it looks like he just does a flyby.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird to get the wrong guy, but
I mean, I guess if you're not watching, you're focused on where you're going up ice, and then all of a sudden you just turn around and there's McDavid. I can understand it, I suppose, and it's a fair comment by both Noel and DD that we're being a little hard on Frederick here, but we did also say that he is playing fine hockey. It's just still not moving the needle in the positive direction that a lot of people expected and hoped for, especially after signing that extension.
I mean, you know what? Maybe that's a way to deter it. Okay, you take a run at our guy. Let's go fight one of your guys.
Mm-hmm.
I'll fight Austin Matthews.
I'll fight anyone.
Text from Lance. Which should I scratch for Sherwood to come off the IR, or should I just leave it? I don't know if you got a chance to bring this one up, Duke.
Just doing so right now.
I like that you kept Celebrini. That was one thing we talked about a while ago. So he's got Meyer, Aho, Ehlers, Rantanen, Celebrini, Eriksson, McAvoy, Dobson. Obviously, those probably don't matter because they're defenders. So it's just the first names I mentioned there. Would you be in a rush to get Sherwood back out there? Do we have an idea where he's going to play in that lineup?
No. at least not at first. I have to think there'll be a little bit of a feeling out process to see where he gels. I mean, the way he's been able to produce, you have to think he's going to get a look inside the top 6 in some capacity, at least to start with, trying to get his legs back going, integrate him to the new team and see how he fits with their skill players.
If he's top line with Celebrini and Smith,
I'm playing him.
You're playing him, right?
And then you look at what options you have to sit him. Now, Lance, I apologize. I know you text in all the time, but I can't remember your league's format. If this is a banger league, then 100% you need Sherwood in because of the hit production as well. I'm looking at your forward group. Honestly, probably Dylan Cousins. I think it's who I'd be moving on from. Like, good player, but not quite in the realm of some of these other guys where, honestly, you have a pretty good team. You can there's an argument for Timo Meier as well. Maybe Joel Eriksson Ek, but Ek, if it's a league that has any value on faceoffs and some other of the banger stats, he carries some weight there that maybe a guy like Cousins does not.
I would say that's a good idea. And yeah, like the upside there, that's so tempting. And if it is, you're taking hits as well. Obviously, he's going to be throwing it around a little bit. For those curious, the Oilers did have an optional skate
down at the Saddle Dome.
Yeah, I believe so. Wait, no, I think off. Knobloch's going to speak to the media at 6:40. So Donovan will have to be on his P's and Q's.
6:40?
6:40, yeah.
Like an hour before the game?
Hour and 20 minutes before the game. So Donnie will have to, obviously. Declan and Josh
sign language going on out our studio
reacting
window.
to the trade, of course. You'll probably hear it in the back on them screaming.
The Wizards.
But yeah, Chris Knobloch's going to speak before the game. Any lineup changes? Tristan Jarry probably gets the start. I would love to see Curtis Lazar get back in the lineup. It has to happen.
I would not be at all shocked to see Mangiapane come back out in favor of Lazar.
Yeah.
I mean, if the trends of how Chris Knobloch operates tell us that in this situation, like, ice time usually leads to what his decisions are going to do. And in a case where he clearly was not happy with the turnover, the decision-making process for Mangiapane that led to him getting benched, probably. Could I also maybe see Josh Szymanski coming out in place of Lazar? I could see that as well.
Cam Tate's poll question today for the 2-minute warning. I think we're going to get a pretty unanimous vote here. Do the Edmonton Oilers look like a first-place team? Right now, let's just say it's around 9. Connor McDavid saying no. Around that percentage. But
Connor McDavid, a well-known lover of the 2-minute warning.
Mike and Yeggs responds, I wonder how many teams of the last, say, 25 years look like a first-place team at this stage of the season. So I'd be fair. Because last year wasn't the Panthers, right? I wouldn't say that.
No, because they were, plodding along, and then they go out and get Seth Jones, which kind of transformed their defense a little bit. Yeah, it's a fair reply. But guess what? I'm voting no.
Phil says at yesterday's Sharks practice, forward in the flight, it was Sherwood with Macklin and Macklin and Smith. Obviously, Macklin, Celebrini. Yeah, I mean, if that's the case, you gotta like that. And if you're throwing down any coin responsibly, point getting in the game,
anytime goal scorer,
maybe goal scorer, right? EG says we've all been impressed with Szymanski, right? His fancies are really good.
I assume that meaning his advanced numbers in this, his fancy
stats.
Yeah, the third line, this Savoy, Szymanski, and Roslovic group, I've liked it at times. I mean, Szymanski is the second point. They kind of get him and Roslovic, assists on the Wallman goal last night. Then, 9 seconds later, they give up the goal that isn't necessarily their doing, right? The mishandled exchange between Connor Ingram and Darnell Nurse from behind the net. Ingram kind of throws him a grenade. Darnell doesn't do very well to react to it, kind of lets it go right past him. Turnover, bang. And it's Szymanski's check, right? He's right on Nyes' hip coming down the slot, and then all of a sudden, bang, it's in the net. The counter to that would be he wasn't necessarily expecting the puck to be in that spot. He was kind of already thinking we're starting to break out the other direction. So there's a little bit of give and take, but overall, I think Szymanski's just been fine. He hasn't blown me away. He does a lot of little things right, particularly on the defensive side. So it will earn him some grace from NHL coaching staffs. But post-Olympic break, do we expect him to still be with the Oilers and playing regular minutes, I'm not so sure.
On that goal, I think that's just a great coaching moment. Like,
For
hey,
sure.
things can change quick, man.
Yeah.
This is why you have to be so locked in defensively because, two things happen, bang, bang, play, and all of a sudden puck's in the back of the net. So not directly your fault, but in the future, there's things you could do to maybe prevent it or make a really good defensive play. Curling underway at the Olympics, the mixed doubles, I believe scoreless right now. There'll be busy schedule for the Peterman Gallant team. Obviously, right now taking on the Czechs.
They lead 5-3.
5-3. How far back is our stream here? I think it might just be repeating because I've seen this camera angle 1,000 times.
I know Canada put up a 4-ender in the second. I think they stole 4.
We're still at the first here. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you checked in on that.
Well, I've been watching it the whole time here.
I closed it because I thought our stream here was fine, but we're like,
well, that TV's behind me, so it didn't do me any good. I've still been keeping tabs, but yeah, the dynamic duo, Peterman and Gallant. Jocelyn Peterman, a Alberta legend, junior champion in our province, going back a number of years.
2 matches tomorrow, 1 on Friday, 2 Saturday, 2 Sunday, and then by next Tuesday, all the medals will be handed out.
And I believe the women's hockey team kick off tomorrow morning in the wee hours of the morning.
Oh, I'm getting up for it. For the panel, thank you guys for joining us on the show today. Check the podcast if you missed anything. Coming up next, we got the Lowdown Flow Tide, followed by the Jason Gregor Show. Then pregame coverage, Oilers and Flames tonight at 8 o'clock. Right now, though, Sports 1440 update with Mackenzie the Intern, brought to you by Wilhauk Beef Jerky, home of Alberta's best beef jerky. Online at wilhaukbeefjerky.com, only available in Leduc.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
The Oilers' final game before the Olympic break against the Flames tonight at 8. Jerry gets the start. We've got pregame coverage with Andrew Walker starting at 6. 9 other games on the slate tonight. Winnipeg and Montreal get going at 5. Boston is in Florida. Kraken takes on the Kings, and Vegas is in Vancouver. Leon Draisaitl has been named one of Germany's flag bearers at the opening ceremonies in Milan Cortina. 7 games in the association as the Raptors tip off at 5:30 against the Timberwolves. Boston is in Houston, OKC, and San Antonio, and the Cavaliers against the Clippers. The Dallas Mavericks are trading 10-time NBA All-Star Anthony Davis, 3 players to the Washington Wizards for Chris Middleton, 3 players, 2 first-round picks, and 3 second-rounders. Over in Italy, curling mixed doubles, Canada is up 5-3 over the Czech Republic. I'm Mackenzie, and that's your Sports 1440 update.
Yes, it's 1440.